Chino Hills has never really been that impressive of a school. They're public, and for the most part of their history has been a mediocre team in the best division of California basketball. But this season was going to be different. Led by Lonzo, a top recruit who was a great playmaker and who could do just about everything on the court with dominance. Not to mention, he was already committed to UCLA. Their leading scorer, LiAngelo, the middle child who was a sharpshooter and someone who could dominate you inside the paint. The point guard of the team was a scrawny freshman who should have been in 8th grade at this time, LaMelo Ball. Melo was tiny, but his size was nothing to laugh about. He was small but could score on just about anyone, and like his brothers, he had range. Then there were the big men. Eli Scott, the heart and soul of the team, a tenacious rebounder and defender who would make any big man's life hell. Eli was a close friend of the Ball brothers since childhood. You could argue he was the closest thing to a fourth brother. Then there was another freshman, the center Onyeka Okongwu. He was your traditional center who showed flashes of being great at such a young age. Onyeka, like Eli, was also close to the boys. This team didn't accidentally come together. It was pre-calculated. 3 brothers and 2 close friends. This should be fun. Chino Hills would win their first 6 games with ease, with the exception of a 1-point win versus Jefferson. Regardless, they were winning games with an average win margin of 39 points. Now, this wasn't by accident or bad competition. They were in the best division in all of California, hence why they had to play Montverde in their following match. Lonzo and LiAngelo combined for 71 points and got a win versus one of the best teams in high school, but this was only the beginning. This team was serious. They had run through the entire state of California and were yet to be stopped. Chino Hills went from a public school to the hottest team in basketball. Lonzo was leading the team in almost every single statistic and was on pace to win a handful of awards. Their next team, however, would not bend the knee so easily. Montverde was not a team they could just run the score up on and embarrass. This school was made to produce talent. Some thought Chino Hills was just a show and not for real, but a crowded high school gym with everyone watching didn't faze this team not one bit. Chino Hills decimated this team in front of everyone. It got to the point there was a running clock. A coach from Montverde even said the team was shell-shocked. If it wasn't clear by now, Chino Hills was the best team in California. Now scratch that. They were the best team in the country. Chino Hills would run through California's best teams in the playoffs and made it to the championship game. They would be matched up against De La Salle, who was having an impressive season of their own. Chino Hills was looking to dominate in the first half, but they couldn't. De La Salle was actually shutting this team down. Lonzo was struggling, only scoring 3 points in the first half. If this team was going to win, they needed the boys to step up, and that's exactly what they did. A perfect end to a perfect season. Chino Hills had successfully gone 35-0 and won it all. On top of that, they were ranked as the #1 team in the country. A team this dominant should have a chance to compete versus the nation's best. It invites the Dick's Sporting Goods High School Nationals tournament could show the world how good this team really was. But there was just one problem. CIF, the division that Chino Hills played in, does not allow their teams to play in this tournament. Regardless of this fact, some people to this day call 2016 Chino Hills the greatest high school basketball team of all time. Chino Hills would look to repeat the following year. However, this would show to be a challenge. The oldest brother and the leader of the team, Lonzo Ball, would be going to UCLA to play his college career. Lonzo Ball's UCLA debut had high expectations, and he would deliver.
1-2, the lob, Lonzo! He runs through, throws to the rim. Oh, Lonzo Ball!
It's going to be all over every news channel tonight. Look out.
He's got two 12 best nominees in his opening half of UCLA basketball.
What a pass and the finish. My goodness.
Lonzo would finish with 19 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds in a win versus Pacific. But this was only the beginning. UCLA was dominating early on and won their first 6 games when LeVar promised the world that UCLA would win the national championship. And after UCLA had won their first 13 games, this seemed like a reality.
Ball against Ennis, shot clock at 8. Ball steps back, long three, of course!
Was an assist in transition.
Deep three, Lonzo Ball.
Holiday with a flyby move. That's a long two that's short and a stick back from Ball.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but just a quick play.
UCLA would finish the season with an impressive 31-5 record. For context, the year before, this team had went 15-17. Clearly, Lonzo was affecting this team. Heading into March Madness, UCLA was one of the better teams in basketball. In round 1, UCLA took on Kent State, winning 97-80, with Lonzo scoring 15 while only missing 1 shot. In the round of 32, UCLA handled business, winning 79-67 versus Cincinnati. Again, Lonzo did well, leading the team in scoring with 18 points while almost having a triple-double, racking up 9 assists and 7 rebounds. UCLA's Sweet 16 matchup was not going to be easy. Kentucky was having a great season, led by De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, and Bam Adebayo. This team was loaded, but UCLA had beaten this team earlier in the year. To be honest, it was anyone's game.
All right, here we go. Here's Fox. In the paint. Hits the floor. There's Ball. Hits the three. Long with the shot. Pretty
Tough to get into the passing lanes.
3-point shot for Hawkins. Briscoe. Able to get free. Able to get a shot off cleanly. And what a shot it is.
Monk. How about this? Unbelievable.
But he's going to check right back in. Alford. Oh, and he's off to a great start to the second half.
Monk. Wow, just eating it up.
Down 5 now, shooting 78%.
The reason is Monk. A good look here for Willis. Yes. Look at his post up for a fast break lob.
Lob, and there it is. Bam, bam.
Boy, a tough-minded defensive group.
Lonzo, I know your dad has said you're one and done. Is this it for you?
Yeah, that was my final game for UCLA, and appreciate all the fans and all the support.
LeVar Ball had famously predicted that Lonzo would get drafted to the Lakers, and with the Lakers getting the #2 pick from the lottery, it seemed all but certain this would happen.
With the second pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Lonzo Ball from UCLA.
From day one, Lonzo had high expectations from the Lakers franchise. Magic Johnson himself said Lonzo was now the face of the team. Despite Markelle Fultz going #1, Lonzo had more hype than any prospect in the draft. But why? Well, that had something to do with one man.
Think he can be as good as Steph Curry in the NBA?
Heck no! He's gonna be better than Steph Curry in the NBA.
And you running your mouth talking about you gonna beat him one-on-one? Why would you say something so blasphemous?
He would need help. One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
NBA Summer League gives rookies the opportunity to show out in a pretty low-key environment. However, this was one of the most hyped up summer leagues we had seen in quite some time. Everyone in the gym was waiting for one man to lace up. The stage was set, but things didn't exactly go to plan.
Ball for three. The shot clock. That time Ball tied up. Got it. Calories a day, eating 4,000 calories a day. Has it made a difference?
Overly impressive, no.
Zubac wasn't ready for on the move. In a rush. Ball with the blow by and the finger roll, no good. Ball still not shy. Now 2 of 15 from the field.
Lonzo had finished with 5 points and people were already ready to call him a bust. While statistically he didn't do the best, there was some positives to his performance. While he did not shoot well, he shot with confidence. On top of that, his playmaking was just as good, if not better, from UCLA. The following game, he would come back having an 11-11-11 triple-double. It took a while, but Lonzo was quickly adjusting and LA was one of the best teams in the summer league. With the help of rookies Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, and an unproven player named Alex Caruso, this team would run through Vegas. After winning the summer league and even taking home MVP, people could start to see the potential in Lonzo. However, many people wanted to see this man fail. Due to LeVar Ball running his mouth about Lonzo and essentially writing checks for Lonzo that he more than likely could not cash in given the fact he's a rookie, this would cause Lonzo to have a big target on his back, all because of his father. And in Lonzo's official NBA debut versus the Clippers, we saw just that.
I told him out the game, man, due to, all the riffraff his dad brings, that he's gonna get a lot of people coming at him. He has to be ready for that, and I let him know after the game. But what a better way to start with
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo finished his first NBA game with 3 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. But it was his first game. Let's not give up on him just yet. In game 2, the Lakers would match up against the Phoenix Suns. And to say Lonzo performed well would be an understatement.
For the Suns, 23-21. Ball steps into the three. Lonzo Ball. Ball on the drive, spins left of the lane. 8-0 run for Phoenix. They take a 3-0 lead, and they have been red hot. Is great pass across, stolen by Lopez. Touch pass to Nance Jr. Transition opportunities. Ball with a dribble hesitation, the spin in the lane. Got it. Fulton Holmes donating $100 to Suns Charities. They counter with one of their own.
Yeah, you knew that. You hit a tough shot. Suns can be aggressive. They only have 2 fouls.
Ball inside left hand.
That's on the other end.
Fulton Holmes proud to own the three-point zone. Ball inside again. Wide open down the lane. Nobody closed in defensively, and Lonzo Ball has scored the last 6 Laker points.
While this was a great game from Lonzo, this was as good as it would get for a while. Lonzo did, however, make history in the game versus the Bucks, where he would have 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds in a loss. This would make Lonzo the youngest player to achieve a triple-double. But even after his historic achievement, people had their doubts, and for good reasons. The good news was Lonzo was still a great playmaker and arguably the best rebounding point guard in the league. His defense also never really took a hit, and he was a great on-ball defender. But the media didn't really care. Instead, all they saw was someone who couldn't shoot and someone whose father talked a lot. Lonzo was finally starting to understand the game and made improvements. Hell, this Lakers team was becoming fun to watch. But unfortunately, Lonzo got injured, spraining his left shoulder right before the Lakers' Christmas game. This was a small injury, and he would only miss 6 games. It's safe to say the Lakers dodged a bullet, but in a matchup versus the Mavericks, the same cannot be said.
He was right after he got locked up with Dirk. You can see him limping a bit. So hopefully it's nothing serious, but you can see that he was definitely favoring that left leg.
This was essentially the end of his season. While he did eventually return, the Lakers limited his minutes and eventually pulled him out the rotation to end the year. Lonzo Ball's rookie year ended with him averaging 10 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. It even made all-rookie second team. This wasn't the Lonzo everyone knew, and if he was going to have a great career, he would have to fix his biggest weakness, his shooting. The Lakers realized if they wanted to win, they would have to make a crazy, jaw-dropping move. Some people had suspicions about a certain NBA legend wanting to join the team when Lonzo, after a game, was caught having a secret conversation, one that the entire media would pick up.
We've got breaking news. LeBron is a Laker.
LeBron James is a Los Angeles Laker.
Well, I'm ecstatic. I think it was the right situation, the right call for him to make.
Yeah. I talked to him yesterday and just told him welcome, man. It's crazy.
The Lakers had more than enough hype with this team. The young core of Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and Josh Hart, along with the signing of a veteran point guard Rajon Rondo, this team was stacked. Opening night had the Lakers facing the Blazers, and Brown would not disappoint.
shaken up.
We're going to play on the defensive end. We're going to be fast.
While the Lakers lost this game, everyone knew if healthy they could be great. For Lonzo, this was an improvement of a season as he would put on some muscle during the offseason and it would improve his defense. He also became more impactful off the ball and his shooting also got better due to him changing his form. Things were looking good up until the Lakers faced the Rockets on January 19, 2019.
For 40 from three.
The MRI would show that Lonzo suffered a grade 3 left ankle sprain, which included a torn ligament. This would officially be the end of the season for Zoe. During this time, there were rumors about Anthony Davis wanting to get out of New Orleans. The main team the AD was getting tied to was the Lakers. When the offseason came, these reports only got bigger and more attention. Eventually, a trade was made for the Lakers to acquire him. It did come with a sacrifice.
Oh no, it is not. We got breaking news into SportsCenter.
We do. I think the NBA offseason has become more interesting than the NBA regular season, and this is the biggest one of all. The Pelicans have agreed to finally trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers now.
Who cares? As long as he's happy playing, all my boys are in the NBA. That's all we worry about. Playing. Whenever he's ready, and like I said, the main thing this time around is just make sure you're healthy. No matter where you play. But like I said, I guarantee, like I say again, it'll be the worst move the Lakers ever did in their life, and they'll never win another championship.
Lonzo now had a new home, but maybe this was for the best. New Orleans was a fresh start that had all the potential in the world. A young, talented core along with a draft pick that turned into the most hyped up prospect since LeBron.
2019 NBA Draft. The New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson.
The difference between Lakers Lonzo and New Orleans Lonzo was night and day. Zoe was still a great playmaker, which now with a guy like Zion only put that on display even more. His defense continued to improve, but also his shooting even got better. The same guy who shot 30% from 3 his rookie season with a wonky form could now shoot almost 38% from 3 with a fixed form. Lonzo even played 63 games, which up to this point was the most games he had ever played in a season. While the Pelicans did make the NBA bubble and had a chance to make the playoffs coming in, they did nothing. The following season was more or less the same, but for Zoe, that's a good thing. His stats improved, almost averaging 15 points per game, and his shooting percentage even got better with more volume. Also, this was the first season where Lonzo did not get injured for an extensive period of time, which just goes to show when healthy, he's an impactful player. The Pelicans once again did absolutely nothing and missed the playoffs. But luckily for Zoe, this was the final year in his contract and he'd become a restricted free agent. During the 2021 offseason, Lonzo would be involved in a sign and trade with the Chicago Bulls. Chicago was also in a similar situation as they also won 31 games and had no real direction. But with the team having one of the best off seasons you can ask for, there was nothing but hope in the city. Getting DeMar DeRozan, who at this point some people doubted and forgot about. Hell, some people were saying this was the worst move in the offseason. But during that time, they even got Alex Caruso to pair along with Lonzo. Safe to say this team didn't have high expectations, but there were some who saw the vision. Everything was going to plan. DeMar DeRozan could not be stopped and he revived his career. There was a point during the season he was even an MVP candidate. The combo of Caruso and Lonzo was too much for defenses, not to mention this team played fast but smart. While they weren't a good team in a half-court offense, the Bulls in transition were impossible to stop. Lonzo once again was playing individually well, continuing to progress, and was now one of the best shooters in basketball. To top it all off, Chicago was winning games. They surprised everyone and were fighting for the 1 seed. Everyone who said that DeMar signing was a terrible move was proven wrong. The people who doubted Lonzo or said Zach LaVine was an empty stats player looked real dumb. Everything was going well until...
Yeah, Lonzo Ball will travel out to LA. He'll have that procedure here in the next couple days. It's a partial tear of his left meniscus. And so the team's saying the timeline is 6 to 8 weeks.
I literally, I really can't run. So can't run or jump. So there's like a range from like 30 to 60 degrees when my knee is bent that I have like no force and I can't catch myself. So until I can do those things, I can't play. So
Chicago, before Lonzo got injured, was the #1 team in the East with a 27-13 record. But after this injury, everything would change and the Bulls would go 19-23 after the fact. Ahead of the 2023 season, Lonzo would undergo surgery that would essentially fix the bone material that was destroyed in his knee. There was some hope he would play, but in February, it was announced Lonzo would miss the entire season, which made sense. The season was basically over and it made zero sense to force him to play. According to reports, Lonzo had made little improvement in his rehab. In June of 2023, 2023, the Bulls vice president made a bold claim saying he didn't think Lonzo would play at all during the 2024 season. Someone who spoke about the situation was Stephen A. Smith, who did not hold back.
I don't think he'll ever be the same based off of what we're seeing and hearing and reading about. I've heard that it's even hard for him to get up from the sit.
Lonzo got word of this and responded trying to show Stephen A. was lying.
Please tell me who your sources are. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gotta stop yapping. And I actually like you, man. I don't even know you like that, but I like you. I'm coming back, man. Come on.
Stephen A. and others really didn't buy it. A video of Lonzo standing up for a couple seconds didn't do much.
Your definition of really being healthy, Lonzo Ball, then why are you scheduled not to play before January? I'd also like to add to Lonzo Ball, who, by the way, turns 26 in October. This is a man that had a cartilage transplant in his left knee in March. The procedure on his knee was the third procedure he has had since he signed a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Bulls in 2021.
Some thought Lonzo was lying and was trying to save face, but technically he wasn't in the wrong. The report said Lonzo couldn't even stand, which as we saw was clearly not true. It didn't say Lonzo couldn't play 48 minutes a game or let alone practice. Stephen A. responded, but it came off that he was, in the nicest way possible, being a prick. As the season went on, people waited for Lonzo to make his return, but it never happened. Reports said in January he'd be able to run, but as far as we know, nothing has changed. So where is Lonzo now? Well, luckily for us, he debuted a podcast where we can hear directly from Zoe and the progression of his injury. In the first episode, we actually got some good news.
To make a long story short, ultimately, it started with a meniscus tear. Basically started on the Lakers when I tore it the first time. Tore it a couple more times to a point to where there was no more, basically not much meniscus left and bone on bone was rubbing. So the cartilage was gone and the bone was messed up. So I had to get actually a new meniscus from a donor. All that finally, healed up, and now I'm back on the court now.
Okay, what a blessing.
Now, I think there's a big mystery we need to address. How the hell did this happen? There's a couple theories on what happened, and a lot of them make sense. Some say Lonzo just had really bad luck. Some people even think Lonzo's signature shoe, the ZO2s, were the cause of him being injury prone. While this could definitely add to the problem, I think it's something else. AAU basketball for years has been known to bring in some of the best players into each and every single draft class. While AAU can be beneficial to a young player's development, it can also be very harmful to a player's development. Lonzo was not only a product of AAU, but he did a lot more. Was Lonzo working out too much to the point of breaking the big baller brand way? Yeah, but in the end, it only damaged his career. Lonzo himself even agrees that he went through too much. Whether it's due to this or his shoes or even some form of bad luck, Lonzo Ball's NBA career has not gone according to plan. I know he's supposed to be one of the biggest draft busts in NBA history, but I don't think we can say that just yet. Lonzo has shown when healthy, he can be a talented player that can help a team win. Whether he gets healthy or not, only time will tell. But I think Lonzo himself is not one to give up, and regardless of what anyone says, Lonzo will come back. And when he does, he will come back with a vengeance.